Support for the Idaho Matters podcast is brought to you in part by University of Idaho, Idaho's only Carnegie R1 classified research university. Our Carnegie R1 designation recognizes the discoveries we make that help our forests thrive. It means we're creating more doctors and doing real research to strengthen cybersecurity for Idaho businesses, our energy sector, and every Idahoan. More at go.uidaho.edu/Idaho-is-Idaho.
Hi, Scandalized listeners. Charlie and Jackie here with a really exciting announcement.
We're coming back to Podfort in 2026. We'll be live at the Boise Contemporary Theater on Friday, March 27th at 3 p.m.
This year, we're going to be digging into some of the juiciest fashion faux pas in American politics. You won't want to miss it.
We'd love to see our amazing listeners, so bring your friends and come talk scandals with us. And best of all, it's free.
That's Friday, March 27th at 3 p.m. from the Boise Contemporary Theater. See you then.
More Idaho Matters now from the studios of Boise State Public Radio News. I'm Gemma Cadet. It's been roughly 10 years since the Les Bois racetrack closed down, and the property has been waiting for its next reincarnation. Well, now Ada County is turning these 50 acres into what commissioners say will be the best park in the Treasure Valley. The plan is to restore wetlands and wildlife along the Boise River, add $10 million in native plants, and create a multi-use park. Joshua Brown is the senior project manager at Ada County Operations, and he's here to give us a preview of the park at Expo Idaho. Joshua, so nice to have you on the show. Welcome.
Hi, Gemma. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, Joshua, set the stage for us. Where exactly is this park, for folks who may not be familiar, in relation to the Idaho Fairgrounds and the Boise River?
Yeah, so if you ever rode your bike down the Greenbelt and you got to a point where there was a long green fence that just went past the Expo Idaho site, there were a bunch of abandoned horse barns back there. All of that's been torn down. The fences have been torn down, and that will now be the park at Expo Idaho.
And how big of an area are we talking about here?
Yeah, so phase one of the park is approximately 50 acres, just under that. And we also leased out the space for the Boise Pro Soccer team, which is another 27 or 28 acres. So just under 80 acres total.
So I mentioned that the former Les Bois Park and the racetrack site, Joshua, it's been sitting there empty for 10 years now. I can't believe it's been that long. So what have you had to do so far as you start building this new park out?
Yeah, great question. So if anyone ever walked that site, the first thing they would notice is that it's completely flat. Basically a foot of elevation change across the entire site. So when the dirt crews came in, we immediately started shaping the wetland, which we cut down about 9 feet. And then we used that dirt to create a ridge line. So now you'll be able to walk up to the top of the ridge line, look down over the wetlands. And for the first time from that site, without climbing into the grandstands, you'll be able to see the foothills and the mountains from the Expo Idaho site.
So you mentioned the wetlands, and I know restoring the wetlands is a big part of what you're doing right now. Can you kind of walk us through the habitat that you're building for birds and wildlife there?
Absolutely. So we cut into the Boise River. So there's a side channel that connects to the park at Expo Idaho. So when the water of the Boise River comes up, our site will back channel and create a wetland habitat. We're planting, about 790 trees over the site at different various maturity levels. We're also creating what we call these willow baffles throughout the site that will be great habitat for nesting birds. They'll slow down the water and kind of creates a situation where the water doesn't erode fast out of the site. But yeah, about 20 acres of the site is wetland. So we also have beaver dams, relic beaver dams. So we're kind of inviting the beavers to play around. The fish and game guys kind of affectionately refer to the park as a beaver starter kit. So we're definitely inviting the wildlife. It is a wetland restoration project.
Yeah.
So when you say restoration, we're restoring it to what it was goodness, about we have images from the 50s that show it as all wetland back there. So we're restoring it to what it was back in the 50s.
And this isn't cheap. I mean, we're talking like $10 million that you're spending on these native plants. And I'm curious, I mean, why the native plants? I mean, I would assume that this is what would be best for the area, but walk us through the decision making on what plants to use and to plant.
Gemma, you nailed it. We are recreating what was there originally. These plants aren't things you buy at Home Depot or Lowe's. We have 16 nurseries throughout the Northwest that are growing plants that are found right there along the Boise River. That big number that you're talking about includes irrigation, includes all the labor to put it in. But we're not just talking about trees. We're talking about millions of plugs and little bulbs that to create that grassland area as well. And then the native shrubs like the service berries and wild rose and wild fern and larger fern bushes. These are things that the birds are going to feed on. So native habitat is, it's just more inviting for the birds. Green lawns are great. They're great for playing soccer on. They're great for your yard. But if you want to attract wildlife, whether it's birds and the salamanders and all of the things that these wildlife feed on, you got to go with native species.
So let's talk about what else is going to be in the park. I heard something about a skateboard park.
Yeah. So when we selected Port Urban Design, they partnered up with a team called California Skate Park. Anybody that's familiar with the skating community knows that California Skate Park also designs for the Olympics. They do the Mountain Dew Tour, they do the World Qualifiers, they did the Paris and the Tokyo Olympics. So these guys, they know what they're doing. So we dedicated about 5 acres of the property to a skate park. The skatable terrain is going to be about 1.8 acres that goes through all of the park features. It's going to be incredible. I mean, this is going to be a regional attraction for sure. It's going to elevate the area. I mean, that you have to remember that where these funds came from, the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds, they ruled that creating these public space, these usable spaces in the areas that were kind of economically suffering, was a great use of ARPA funds. So, when reading through all of that, those rulings, a lot of verbiage was not just about the quantity of parks, but elevating the quality of the experiences for these areas. So California Skate Park, that will definitely increase the quality of the experience there at the park.
And is it true there might be some roller derby as well happening?
I love it. Yeah. So we had an open hearing meeting and we invited the public to come comment. And one of my favorite moments in all of this process is that the local roller derby girls showed up in full force. I mean, I think the number's grown since I've told the story. I think it was 400 girls. I don't know. It was probably 40. It wasn't. I don't know. But it was overwhelming. The roller derby girls showed up, and the commissioners were there, and they listened and they heard them. And the lesson I take from that is if you want to see something in your community, show up. Those ladies showed up. They showed up in force, and the answer is yes. There will be an outdoor regulation size roller derby track at the skate park.
So, Joshua, how long is it going to take to finish building the park?
We have a ribbon cutting date set in stone, October 23rd of this year. So we're about 6.5, 7 months away. It's happening this year.
And the Golden Eagle Audubon Society is hosting a talk tonight, right, about the park, and this is going to happen at the Hillcrest Library in Boise. Can you talk a little bit about that? And is it open for anyone to come and attend and learn more?
Yeah, come join us. I'll be giving the presentation. I'll be going through the history of where the park came from, a lot of the key features in the park. Opening it up for questions. You can ask anything you want to ask, and it's a great understanding of how local governments navigate massive projects like this. It's been a wonderful experience, and we're just going to break it down step by step and really dive into the details about those native species and creating wetland habitat.
Well, it's exciting to see this coming back to life in such a way. So I want to thank you so much for coming on and talking with us about this. Nice to have you with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We've been talking with Joshua Brown. He is the Senior Project Manager for Ada County Operations. And we've been talking about the new park at Expo, Idaho. And as we mentioned, the Golden Eagle Audubon Society is hosting a talk about the park that will happen tonight at the Hillcrest Library in Boise, and it is open to the public. And that'll do it for this episode of Idaho Matters. Make sure you check out our podcast feed because you can find more episodes of topics that might be interesting to you. And for more local news and headlines, make sure you subscribe to the Connector podcast. If you learned something from this episode today, share it with someone else who needs to know about it.